this episode of Social Tech Battlefield, I'm going to be comparing two of the top portable gaming systems on the market right now, the PS Vita and the new Nvidia Shield. So let's go ahead and start the show. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Soldier Tech Battlefield. I'm your host, Mark Watson, otherwise known here on the internet as Soldier Knows Best. And today I'm going to be comparing the PS Vita versus the Nvidia Shield. Now, I did a quick little comparison over the specs and things like that at CES this past January. But now I've been able to get my hands on both of these devices and use them. And now we're going to see which one comes out on top. So the categories for this battle are going to be hardware, controls, software, games, and price. So we're going to start this battle off with the hardware category. All right, first, just taking a look at the design of both of these devices. It's really easy to see that the PS Vita is going to be the more portable out of these two devices. It's going to be able to fit in your pocket and allow you to walk around with it. Now, it's still going to be a nice little bulge in your pocket. That's what she said. But anyway, it'll be able to fit in your pocket, where the Nvidia Shield is just way too bulky to really carry around with you unless you want to put it in a backpack or a laptop bag. But now it's going to compare the internal specs of both of these devices. Now, first starting off with the PS Vita, you will find a quad-core ARM Cortex-A9 processor, 512 megabytes of RAM, and a battery that will get you about 3 to 5 hours of battery life. In real world usage though, I got around 4 hours. And now it's going to compare those specs against the internal specs of the Nvidia Shield. You will find that the Shield does have a quad-core Tegra 4 processor, which is going to be better than the processor in the PS Vita. It also has 2 gigabytes of RAM, and it does have a battery that will get you around about 6 to 9 hours of usage. And I would say that I was able to get around 8 hours most of the time when I was using this device. But then you also find 16 gigabytes of internal storage in the Shield, and the PS Vita doesn't have any internal storage at all. So you're relying all on the memory cards if you want to download any games on the PS Vita, where the Nvidia Shield has that 16 gigabytes, but also too, they do have a micro SD card slot, which at the time of the video, you can't download apps on, but they say that's going to be coming in a future update. But the PS Vita does have a few more tricks up its sleeve. It does have front and rear facing cameras that allow you to do video chat, and also some of the games do take advantage of those cameras. But then you also have a rear multi-touch pad on the back, which also adds more functionality to certain games. And then you have a 3G option as well. So if you do get the 3G PS Vita, you'll be able to game and download stuff and browse the web on the go away from a Wi-Fi connection. And Nvidia Shield does not have that option at all. Now, the one kicker in this category may be the display. Now, both of these devices are rocking 5-inch displays, but the PS Vita's display only has a resolution of 960 by 544. Where you look at the Nvidia Shield, it has a 1280 by 720, so it is a 720p display. So the Nvidia Shield is rocking a better display. It's going to be clear, it's going to be brighter. A lot of the images are going to be sharper. It's not going to be pixelated. But then you also throw in the fact that the Nvidia Shield does have way better speakers. I mean, the speakers blow the speakers off of the PS Vita. I think this hardware category as a whole, I see the Nvidia Shield taking this category, where the PS Vita does have a couple of advantages, but the Nvidia Shield overall is a better device when it comes down to the hardware. And now let's move on to the controls category, which can really make or break a device. Now, both of these devices have dual analog sticks. They both have D-pads, 4 action buttons. They both have shoulder buttons, but the Nvidia Shield takes it to another level because it does have 2 triggers on the back of it, which is going to be great for first-person shooters. But then also the controls are just bigger and in a better layout. And I found that when I went back to the PS Vita after using the Nvidia Shield, it was really hard to get used to. The Vita controls are just spaced out across the device, and the analog sticks are just way too small, especially if you have big thumbs or big hands in general. And so the Nvidia Shield with this controls category easily takes this because it offers the more console-like controls. This allows you to get better controls in the game. So again, the Nvidia Shield is going to take this controls category. And next up is going to be the software category. Now, the PS Vita is running its own operating system that Sony has developed, and it's pretty good for a mobile gaming system, but it's really just focused on gaming. You can download and watch a few movies on there. It does have a Facebook application, a Netflix application. It does have multitasking and a notification system, but the Nvidia Shield is running Android Jelly Bean, and that's really all I have to say. And so the Nvidia Shield has a huge advantage when it comes to the operating system department. It's going to be more customizable. You have a lot more settings you can do on there, and you can have access to all the applications in the Google Play Store. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, HBO Go, Hulu Plus, everything you can think of is already in there at your disposal and will run just fine on this Nvidia Shield. It does have a better notification system, also has better multitasking on there. And then it's also going to be better for media consumption. You have more access to movies, to TV shows, to songs, and also access to books and magazines, everything like that. It just puts the Nvidia Shield over the PS Vita when it comes to the software, more important, just the OS itself. So the Nvidia Shield is going to take this software category. And now onto the category that you may have been waiting for. This is going to be the games category. Now, just to break it down simply for you, the Nvidia Shield is more about casual games. The PS Vita is more about console-like games. So with the Nvidia Shield, you're going to find a lot of games in the Google Play Store to choose from, but really only a handful of those are really compatible with the Nvidia Shield's controls, the hardware controls themselves. But those games actually do work well. I play a lot of games like Virtue Tennis and Crazy Taxi and some first-person shooters like Shadowgun, especially with this multiplayer, and the controls work flawlessly. Just that all the games aren't really optimized for that. And then a lot of those games are games that you kind of pick up, you play, you put down, and you don't really think about it, and you pick up and play again. But they don't really have a lot of storyline to them, and so it's not going to be a game that you need to continue to play. You want to follow all the way through. Where the PS Vita is going to be offering you games that you can find similar to on the PlayStation 3 right now, like Uncharted. That was one of the launch games, but Uncharted was an awesome game, an awesome experience that really I could have played that on the PlayStation 3 and been satisfied with me spending my money on that game. But then you may also notice that both of these systems do have similar games like Plants vs. Zombies, but on the PS Vita, it's going to run you $14.99, where on the Nvidia Shield, that same game is only cost you 99 cents. So, I mean, it really depends on which system is going to be the best kind of fit for you. Now, one thing both of these game systems do have in common is the ability to play better games like a console game or a desktop computer game. Now, the Nvidia Shield does have the ability to link up to a computer as long as you meet certain specifications on that computer, but you can link up to it, and now you can play games off of the Steam library of games on there, and it can stream it directly to your Nvidia Shield. And then the PS Vita can link up to the PlayStation 3 and the upcoming PlayStation 4, and they'll allow you to stream games to it and control the games via the hardware on the PS Vita. Now, I think the PS Vita does have the advantage in this category because the upcoming PlayStation 4, Sony is making it mandatory that all the games work with this remote play to the PS Vita, so you're always going to be able to have this ability where with the Nvidia Shield, all the games aren't optimized to be able to take advantage of these controls. And so ultimately with this games category, it's a very close one for me. I can see pros and cons with each one, but I'm gonna give it to the PS Vita because it has more console-like games and games that are really gonna involve you and really give you a nice experience instead of games you just want to pick up and play and then forget. So the PS Vita wins this games category. Now, the last category is going to be price, and you can get the Nvidia Shield right now for $299 and only sell one version of it, so that's the only one you can choose from. And the PS Vita just had a price drop from $250 down to $199 for the Wi-Fi only, but I found that in some places like Best Buy and also GameStop, they were selling the Wi-Fi and 3G version of the PS Vita for $199 as well. And then a lot of these also feature some bundles that come with a free game or free case or something like that. So because of all that, the PS Vita is definitely going to take this price category. All right, so there you have it. That wraps up this battle between the Nvidia Shield and the PS Vita, and the winner is the Nvidia Shield, winning 3-2 over the PS Vita. Now, I think the Nvidia Shield overall is going to be the better device. Now, ultimately, your choice between these two systems may come down to one category, and that may be the games category, and that's really just going to be a personal choice to you, whether you want more casual games and probably access to more games on the Nvidia Shield, or if you want more console-like games on the PS Vita. But their launch of new games has really slowed down over the past few months now, so it's really going to be a personal choice to you. But I think overall, personally, I would probably go with the Nvidia Shield at this point. So again, like always, leave your comment down below what you think about this battle, which one you think won in your book, the PS Vita or the Nvidia Shield. And also, I will come back to you guys next week with another episode of Soldier Tech Battlefield. Again, thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.